thank you for coming. We appreciate it. We've listened to you guys. People have suggested authors to bring to Kansas City, Kansas. Last year we brought Sister Soldier. Yeah. Who of you out here have been to the Sister Soldier? Wow. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you. We cannot do it without you supporting us doing it. We can listen to the authors that you would like us to bring, but it's useless us bringing it and we don't get the support of you guys coming out. So we want the authors to know that you love them, and that's the reason, that's the way, that is how we can bring them again. But we are thankful that you made it in the rain, and I couldn't have introduced or at least invited a better MC than Miss Crystal Watson. So let's get started. Ms. Watson is our moderator, and she already introduced herself as President of Chief Executive Officer of the Heartland Black Chamber of Commerce, a job tailor-made for her outgoing personality, am I right? Yeah! Her primary role for the past 7 years is to collaborate with community and business resources to ensure services, initiatives for minorities, women, and disadvantaged business owners are implemented at their highest level of support. Before her work with the Heartland Black Chamber, Ms. Watson provided leadership in management roles with companies such as Sprint, United Way. She was on the Board of Education for the Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools and Truman Medical Center. Among her honors, Ms. Watson has been named to Kansas Business Journal's Power 100, Ingram's 50 Kansas You Should Know, and Who's Who in Black Kansas City. Welcome, Ms. Catherine. Okay, the library. We connect members of our dynamic community with information, tools, resources, and welcoming spaces to enrich their lives. That is our mantra. Our guest speaker today, through hard work, intelligence, and talent, Eric Jerome Dickey has forged a legendary career as a New York Times best-selling author of romance, comedy, adventure, and undeniable passion. His books make us laugh, cry, curse, soon, and sweat. So now an author of 25 novels, several short stories, and a short series of Marvel comics, Eric first began his career as a software developer in the aerospace industry. While there, he began to explore creative outlets, including acting and stand-up comedy. I can't believe it. He then turned to writing and quickly found out that it was something he could do and do well. From creative writing classes to consuming the works of his favorite authors, Eric began to shape a writing career of his own. He workshopped, wrote, edited, networked, and hustled. That's what we do normally. The hard work was worth it, as Eric Jerome Dickey's novels have placed him on the map as one of the very best writers of contemporary urban fiction. Eric has turned named Storytelling of the Year by the Essence Literary Award. His books have been featured on the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Blackboard, and USA Today bestseller list. And Friends and Lovers and Sister were both named to AAAL BC's top 20 titles of the 20th century. Originally from Memphis, Mr. Dickey now lives on the road, like in Kansas tonight, and rests in whatever hotel will have him. We are so welcome that he came to visit us. Please help us, and please welcome Mr. Eric Jerome Dickey.
So, we ready to get started? First of all, Mr. Dickey is so down to earth. He's one of the most awesome people I have ever met. So welcome to Kansas City.
Thanks for having me. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I've been wanting to meet y'all forever. Thank you.
So we're going to get right started. We're just going to have a conversation. And then after which we're going to open it up for questions and answer from you. Where you get to ask the questions. Is that okay? Yeah. All right. So the first thing I'm going to say, because I've talked to several women here, and we have had, it's been 8 years.
Yeah.
With the Gideon series. So we started, okay ladies, let's say this together. The first one was what? Sleeping with strangers. Then it was waking with enemies. Dying for revenge.
Wow.
8 years later, we got Finding Gideon. Why 8 years?
Wow. You know, I had started working on a sequel to Gideon immediately after Resurrected Midnight. But it wasn't quite going the way I wanted it to go. I call it what false starts. I had one version started in the Bahamas, and another version started in Barbados. Then I took a break and started working on some other stuff. But I have to say, it's like when I taking the break, I think the novel is much better. This version is much better than I would have done 8 years ago. Because I pick up exactly the moment Resurrected Midnight leaves off. So if you're reading it, and you're really into Resurrected Midnight, as you turn the page and then go directly to Finding Gideon, it's going to read like one huge novel with no time gap whatsoever. So you stack them up, it's just like, it'll read like one, like Sleeping with Strangers and Waking with Enemies go together. These two novels go together like that. And I had to figure out what Gideon, this was going to be in Finding Gideon. Resurrected Midnight, we had the big con, the big scam, Arizona, the second scams, that crew. This one is where you see Gideon when he stops running and he comes back at you. We have never seen that Gideon before. We've seen him up against the 4 horsemen, but to defeat the 4 horsemen, he has become darker than the 4 horsemen. So yeah, and I think that you're going to enjoy the journey. The feedback I've gotten so far, Twitter, Facebook, people have said it's been worth the wait. So hopefully all of you will feel the same way. So yeah.
So how many of you haven't read, you've read his other books, but not the Gideon series? How many?
Oh yeah.
So can you help us understand, kind of take us from the beginning on who Gideon is up until now where we're here at Finding Gideon?
Oh, okay, well, but jumping back to when I first started working on the Gideon series, I wanted to create a character who was an assassin. I used to read this other writer's Assassin series, and I really enjoyed it, but the only issue I had with the series was every time the assassin went to work, he did the job the exact same way. So I was 3 books in, I was like, okay, I got it. He's going to use a 22, he's going to pop it, he's going to get away, I get it. So for the guy I wrote, I just wanted him to be totally different. He has this backstory. Gideon grew up in a brothel, right? He grew up in a brothel. The first person he killed, he was trying to protect his mother. He was only 7 years old. A few years later, low on money, his mother actually put a weapon in his hand because someone wanted someone taken care of. And this has been Gideon's journey. He became an assassin because of that. And part of writing it was the study of nature versus nurture. So is he an assassin because that's in his blood, or is it because that's the way he was brought up? And as Gideon goes on his journey, that's part of his internal struggle. If you notice in every book, Gideon sees what he considers normal people, the squares. And he wants to be one of them, but he knows that he's been through so much that he can never be a normal person. Gideon is not even his name. He took it off the Bible. He doesn't know his name. He doesn't know where he was born. He doesn't know his birthday. Because as he moved around with his mother, it always changed. So, and his mother is a huge part of the series too, because She lies a lot. I mean,
It sounded like his mama was scandalous.
oh, she was.
Scandalous.
But the thing about his mother is that his mother is from a small area right outside of Paris. She left Paris because she was on the run from something which I haven't told the reader yet. But she had to flee Paris with Gideon on her hip, and so she had to do what she had. She had to survive, and meeting men and turning a trick was an easy way to make money. You don't have to have an identity. You don't have to fill out paperwork, and you can get food, clothing, and shelter. So, and that's been Gideon's world. He has a very dark world, but at the same time, as you're reading about, hopefully you understand Gideon. You may not agree with everything that he does, but you understand why he does what he does and who he is. Yeah, and outside of that, he's an exciting character. Women want to meet him in a good way, and guys who even they want to be Gideon.
Wow.
They want to meet Lola Mack, Miss Jones, Arizona Hawks, all of that. So, yeah.
So,
Okay.
so if you could do a movie
Oh. Gideon.
of Gideon,
Yeah.
who would be the male character? Who would you want?
Who? Idris Elba? Everybody says Idris. This is what's funny. Like 15 years ago, it had been Denzel, right?
Oh, right.
Denzel. And it's changed. I mean, before there was like bars, everybody's like, y'all want Idris to be everybody, boy. It's just like, who can be Lola Mack? Idris! But Idris is like, man, Idris, his work, the way he moves from character to character.
Yeah.
And he remains Idris, but it changes just enough for you not to feel like it's the same character that he's done in other stories. He's just amazing, man.
Well, and he did that cop series, Luther.
Oh, Luther. Did you guys watch
Anybody see Luther?
A lot
I think he could be Gideon. What you
He could be
think?
Gideon, he could be James Bond. He's
Yeah.
and lately Idris has been training to fight. He did a boxing match, so he got lean, cut, so and he got his skills up, and that's Gideon, yeah.
So along these lines of movies, is there any possibility of the Gideon series, like maybe being in the movies or like Netflix? Would y'all watch it on Netflix?
I see some bids watching up in here. 13 episodes of Gideon back to back. I'm not coming to work today. Hey, I'm sick. Skipping church. I hope for that. I mean, that's. I think in the beginning that I would have seen Gideon as a movie, but the thing with the movie is script-wise 110 pages, and the book is about 400, close to 5. So, in Sequence Stranger Wake with Enemies, I'd have to decide what stayed, what went. The Man with the Broken Nose would probably get cut down to being a caricature of who he is without his full story. But Netflix, the series, I can every character I can bring to life. I mean, if I got 13 episodes, my vision would be this: we got the Gideon story, and then I would do one episode would just be the Man with the Broken Nose. Him from the start, dealing with his family, coming in, meeting Gideon. Because we know what's going on. I could get Arizona, I could get her sister, I could get everyone in there, more or less, and you would watch it. It'd be very close to the novel. You don't get Gideon's inner dialogue, but if you get the right actor, the right actresses, you're going to feel like you're getting all of that. And I would love it. And I think it could blow up Netflix like the Luke Cage series did. I think it did. I mean, because we haven't seen an African American product like this. We haven't seen the assassin who has the heart, who wants to be a square with this background that I could just pull so much out of, you know. And you know, again, we're in with the right cast, with the right actors and actresses, you know. Y'all would tune in, y'all would like it, you know. And that would be the biggest thing. And I would love to be in a room like this, filled with people, and it's playing on the screen, and I could actually sit in the room while you're watching it. Feel your energy, hear your laughter, hear your everything, to be a part of it. As a writer, I don't get that, because I work in a vacuum. I'm in my office. I'm somewhere, you know. And as you read it, I'm not there. You know, I get your emails, I get your text messages, I get everything, but I'm not there in the moment. I did a film years ago, Cappuccino. Anybody see Cappuccino? A few people saw it. So I did a film years ago, Cappuccino, with Craig Ross Jr. And I actually went into the theater. Nobody knew who I was, so this is before I even started doing novels. I just used the name Eric Dickey, and I hadn't put Jerome up in the middle. And I'm actually sitting in the theater, you know, places packed like this, and you know, the laughter, this relationship, and the guy in the story tells this big lie. Every viewing, a sister stood up. Oh, hell no! Every viewing, man, I'm sitting there, I was like, wow, man, you know, and it was just so, you know, to be there when someone, you know, I'm not there, I don't get that through the novel. You know, not like that. What I get now is, as people are reading, they're tweeting me. They're treating me a DM, direct message, you know. And that's as close to that as I've gotten, you know. So they're reading this, they're tweeting. Is anyone read Finding Gideon? You've already read it? Yes. Okay, well, I don't get so they get to certain parts, and they go like, oh my God, this happened, boom, 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 and what's going to happen next? I said, no, just keep reading. I don't do spoilers.
Right, don't do spoilers.
But it's really amazing with technology to be able to get there on that page, and at that moment, they're tweeting you how they feel about what they read. Wow. You know, and the excitement. One of the first tweets I got when Finding Gideon came out, this guy said, oh, because he downloaded via Kindle. I mean, which is amazing. The moment the book comes out, boop, 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 got it, you know. And so he said, yeah, he said like, my device went off at midnight. I looked and said, oh, well, I got the Finding Gideon book. He said, I'm going to read a little bit of it before I go to bed. He said, damn, I was up all night. I read it at midnight, and then I went to bed, woke up, he said, I'm through with the book. Damn you, I'm sleeping, you know. So he said he started reading it, and he couldn't stop. And I was like, but that's what you want,
you know. Well, the lady said, you can't put the book down.
And which is really good, because as I'm writing, as I work on it, I can't tell, because I'm, like you said, you can't see the forest for the trees. My nose is up against the tree. I'm writing, I'm rewriting. I'm doing technical stuff. I'm looking at words, saying like, I need to change some of these words because I need stronger words. I need to rearrange sentences. I need to move scenes around. So it becomes very, very technical. And in the end, you just hope that all the stuff that you put in there, that it works. Mm-hmm. And at no point during the novel when they read it, that the reader feels like you jumped the shark. Or becomes unable to suspend disbelief. Because a big part of it is as much action, as much stuff that goes on in the Gideon novels, you have to believe that this could happen. And I have to write it so you believe that this could happen.
So when did you realize it was time for Gideon to come back?
Oh, it's like I've always wanted Gideon to come back, but it was just that. And this happens with me every year. I'll sit down and start to write something, and I just can't get it to work. So something is wrong. I mean, my editor or my agent may say, oh, it's fine, man. But for me, there's a certain quality it has to have. It can't be good. I want great. You know, you tell me, oh, this is good. Then it's not good enough. I want great. I want when you're reading Gideon or Blackbirds or The Other Woman, I want you to be like, okay, I need to put my life on hold And check this out. Woo! Even I've never read that. I mean, so remember, years ago I was writing The Other Woman. Many people read The Other Woman? Yeah. Well, this was writing, this was just a small thing, but it was a big thing for me. David Lawrence's wife, her name is Jessica, and she's not in the novel until the third act. And for me, I said, that doesn't work for me, because, you read stuff, then all of a sudden, towards the end of the book, people start showing up. You're like, it's like, wait, where you come from? Why are you important? Well, why weren't you in the book? So what I did was I introduced her one sentence at a time. So we had letters from Jessica, we had pictures of Jessica. I wanted to feel that when you actually saw Jessica, you feel like she's been in the book the entire time. Very important. So I worked it out. I brought in her emails, her text messages, and I put them in the book just like it was a story within a story. You got her private moments, her personal moments. You got the things she said, the things she did. We wrote them like you felt like you were in that scene. So when she shows up, you're like, yeah, I know you. So it's just a lot of stuff like that when I'm working on it. I wanted to.
So how long did it take you to write? How long does it typically take you to write a book?
About half a year.
Half a year.
That's working every day, and it's pretty much every day. Some aspect of working on the novel every day. Some days is research day, meaning like when I was in Argentina, I would spend all day driving around or being driven around, and it's like being a location scout. Like when I do the chase scene, I would go through the city, have my camera at my side, had my recorder, and I would literally I talk. This one I would start talking into the tape recorder, and would say like, so I'm going down Libertador Avenida, blah blah blah. We're going through here. There's the Los Derechos, the law school on the side. The street is 8 lanes wide. There's a park to the left. There's this, blah 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 blah. And it's funny. I'm talking like that, and then at some point, it's like I become Gideon, and they're chasing me, and I can see them in the rearview mirror. And it's so funny, like I would make that switch, and I'd be like, okay, that really felt crazy, but I'm gonna roll with it, So that would be that day. Then I would take that, and the next day would be transcribing everything that I wrote, and the day after that would be making that scene, dropping in the cars, the car chases, the crashes, the finding a point where this ends, and however that gets resolved. So it's every day. That's what's cool about it for me. Every day is different. It's not just me sitting in front of the computer all the time,
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is really descriptive because you're actually telling us that you go to the location, right?
Yeah.
He actually goes there,
Yeah.
and you're literally kind of simulating what you're going to write so that it becomes real to you.
Yeah. Well, see, it's not always that it has to be real to me. I write like this.
But when it's real to you, then it becomes real to us.
It is. But see, it's like the people who live in Argentina or Antigua or Odenville, if they pick up the book and read it, it has to feel like it was in Argentina. It has to be real. It's not like me. It's not me Googling on the internet and dropping stuff in. No, I'm there. I get the smells. If you guys are on Facebook, I just uploaded stuff from 8 years ago, 2 years, yesterday morning, or this morning. I found this disc when I was in Argentina with me going around with my camera recording stuff. And I uploaded stuff. It's so funny. It's like, I got the dreadlocks and the beard. And I'm like walking down the street, I'm in Argentina, and blah, 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 blah. And they got dog poo all over this joint. And I was like, what kind of people don't pick up the dog poo? It's just anything I saw. I got people. They tango in the streets, they tango at the restaurants. I mean, I was at a restaurant in Argentina. It's out, all the seating is outside. So we're sitting outside, and a storm comes. They're in the middle of a dance, this couple, the professionals. They keep dancing. They don't stop. It's like, I'm sitting here watching, everybody's going inside. They're getting soaking wet. They go all the way through the record. Then they stop. And I'm saying, like, what? Now, you know me, I'm from here, sister get a hell where it's over. I'm just saying, you know, and she just kept spinning around, and they did the whole thing as if rain was nothing, man. Yeah, you know, and this was one of those winter rains.
Wow.
So they kept, and it just, watching the culture, reading the culture, I put their politics into the novels, be it Dying for Revenge, Antigua, the protest that was in that novel, that was real. I was sitting and the protest went by. I go to all these places, and I kind of refer to that I lived somewhere, because I usually stay about 4 months. I'm there so long, I have a place I get my laundry done, I have a routine. I pass by strangers, I give them directions to places. You know. Really, it was like, I was in London, and I was in London hanging out with people from London, and someone came by, was looking for a particular place. And I told them the shortcut to get there. The people I was with from London didn't even know about the shortcut.
Wow.
Because I'm out all day just walking around and taking notes. And it's so funny because when I did Sleeping and Waking, I had so many notes left over, stuff that I didn't use, that when I wrote Dying, I used some of those notes in that novel, with Gideon being pursued by Matthew and the lady who loved the bonnets. So yeah.
So we understand how you write your books, how long it takes.
Yeah.
What inspires you with these books? Do you meet people and then like, oh, I'm gonna come up with that character?
Well, you know, sometimes it's, well, like with Gideon, it was I wanted to do an assassin. And then it was a matter of, I had to create the character.
Well, what do you know about assassins?
If I told you, I had to kill you.
Uh-oh.
Did you Google it? Well, that was the thing about it. It's like a lot of stuff is that what I don't know, I research, I learn. Like I've read other authors, assassin, their take, blah, blah, blah. And I wanted mine to be different. I didn't want him to be that guy. You know, it was really interesting because when I created Gideon, one of the first things I wrote down was, well, I had the character say, it was like, I know 23 ways to put a man in the ground. And I was like, damn, 23? Oh shit, I got a commitment. I got to figure this out. I'm glad he didn't say 40. You know, yeah, so for me, that's the thing. The guy who you always, every time Gideon does something, the scene is going to be different. So hopefully you as a reader, you don't feel deja vu every time he does something. It's different, you know.
So is this the last? Can we expect another?
At some point, I mean, because the way this ends, it opens a huge door. You know? It opens a huge door. You know, I think part of Gideon's journey with his mother and everything he's done is that he's been in search of the truth. Sort of like a child who doesn't know his father or his mother, and they want to know the truth. You know, you can have a child with a guy, and you can tell the child all his life that the guy is no good, this, that, and the other. The child still want to meet his dad. His child, and that's good. He still why? Because that's my dad. You know, that's it.
So, is there ever in your books a message? And if there was a message, what would it be?
I don't know. I let the characters live, breathe, go through what they're going through, and I don't do it in a heavy-handed way and such that there's a message to this. The moral of the story is I don't do that. You know, I've never done that. One of the first things I do as a writer when I'm writing is I get out of the way. As I'm creating characters, I get out of the way. And the sense is like this. Hopefully you come back to the book because it was written by me, that you enjoy my work in some way. But you stay because once you turn the page and start reading the story, I vanish. And it becomes about the character.
Right.
And you're coming back for Gideon, you're coming back for Genevieve. Now, forget her. I'm into the story now, and that's what you want, I
think that's what we like about it, right?
Yeah.
We don't want a message. We want to be taken away. And
I've never been able to do that. I just have these stories with these characters that some stuff ends up resolved, some stuff doesn't end up resolved. The big stuff I always resolve to a certain way. Up ending, meaning positive, down ending, maybe not the way we thought it was going to work out, but I do the ending that makes sense for the story. So I don't create an ending because I'm trying to be the moral police. So the ending, so all the stuff that the characters have been through, when it gets to the end, this ending makes sense for this book. And it changes from novel to novel. So yeah. So I think I try to stay true to the story. Again, I try to get out of the way. It's not about what I believe. Because I would definitely say, when I started writing a Gideon novel, just the idea of writing an assassin, I'm writing somebody who killed people. It was really, first it was like hard to do. Just like, I would have Gideon fighting, but it's like, oh, he about to kill him, So I would like feel like really bad. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to hell, But the funny thing about it is that after I kind of got over that bump, so this is fun. What are you going to do next? I mean, really, it's like, just create a character that you have the license to. Gideon has somehow captured the mark, the target. They're unconscious. They wake up in a plane and get thrown out.
Wow.
I mean, it's just like, I would hate it, but Gideon can do it. Gideon does it, man. There's certain type of people that Gideon would do some stuff for free. But the thing is, he considers himself a professional. He only does the contracts. He's not a murderer. He's had people that he wanted to kill, and he'd get in their face and would go to a certain point, but he can't pull the trigger because he's not a murderer. If that makes sense to people. Now, a contract, he has no issue. There's money on the table, it's professional. But it's like, you've done me wrong. Oh, I could put you in the ground, but ooh. He's just not that guy,
So we talked a lot about Gideon in your books. What about Jerome Dickey?
What about him? I heard about him.
So tell me a little bit about you.
What do you want to know? I mean,
what do y'all want to know?
Well, I grew up in Memphis.
Are you married?
No.
When are you going to put a new picture in your book?
When am I going to put a new picture in my book?
Yeah, without the dread.
This is what's funny. This was funny. It's like,
just a picture of you.
I took that picture in Antigua, and I said, okay, that's the best picture I've ever taken. I'm done. That's it. I'm done. So, I don't know, maybe at some point I will. I'm not sure. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's like I used to take pictures every year, and I just was done with it. I was like, okay, use the same picture. So, yeah. Which is kind of cool because now I can throw it around and nobody really recognizes me. Like I'm in a witness relocation.
Oh, no, they saw you as soon as you walked in. They knew who you were. So we're going to open it up for questions. Does anyone have a question?
Hi, love.
Hi, how you doing?
How you doing?
Do you have an end in mind for the Gideon series already?
Just total? No, I don't. Do I have an ending in mind for the Gideon series? No, I don't. It's sort of like this. Every Gideon novel has a main issue. And it's sort of like they do on soap operas, in a sense, like you got this main thing going through, and as this percolates, you're creating something that's going to be the main issue for the next novel. So it keeps it all connected, but I enjoy the series, I enjoy traveling, writing, I enjoy, it's really funny, it's like, I enjoy putting Gideon through all the stuff I put him through. Which is really, when you think about it, it's really kind of sick, but it's like that. But, because he has so much depth, layers, and I think that even though we read about the assassin, we see his humanity. And I think that's why we like him. Gideon could fit in other genres, People want to meet Neil Simone Bijou from Pleasure. That would be a different book. It would be like one night, it'd take place in a hotel, and but no, I just don't see an end. I enjoy the character, and this is one character because of his lifestyle, what he does, and everyone else involved, Constantine, Arizona, that I can always do something else with. Some of the relationship novels, it becomes more of, did they get married? Did they have kids? And for me, that's not, I need a very thick plot to bring them back, you know. I brought back, well, they were small parts in other novels, but I brought back Kwanzaa, Destiny, and Erica. And because I felt that I had story for them together as friends, and that journey they had in Blackbirds.
All right, who else has a question? Right over here. I see you over there, girl.
Yes, okay. What inspired Pleasure, and who would you cast for that book if it became a movie?
You get the part. But the inspiration for Pleasure would, gosh, they would go back through a whole lot of different stuff, novels that I've read. Damaged by Josephine Hart, Lolita, Lie to Me.
But who would be the?
I don't know who.
What female? Do you have a female?
You have someone in mind?
Sanaa Lathan.
See, I have no idea. I really have no idea.
So when you create the characters, you don't have like a woman in mind, or
when I'm writing, I don't see any celebrity.
Huh? Maybe not celebrity, but
no one special.
Wow. That's cool.
No, I don't. I really don't. It's like I work on a description for them, and I remain consistent with that description, but it's never anyone solid. I may have seen someone in passing and caught a description, and sometimes it's like, you know, someone with an interesting hairstyle goes by, or some interesting attire, or just something that's that stands out about them to me in that moment. I don't get to meet them, I don't want to talk to them, but I'll see that and I imagine a character. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Who else has a question? Over here.
She's doing the Oprah.
Hey, do you identify with any of the characters in your book?
Do I identify with any of the characters in my book? Probably with all of them. I mean, well, I create them, I write them. But there's no character that's me. You know, even when I wrote Between Lovers and the Writer, his education is way beyond mine. His family is nothing like mine. I imagine him from, say, like a family like Martin Luther King Jr. And the thing is, the people who are out protesting for us and standing up for us, we never think about, they're never at home. The wife doesn't have access to her own husband, and when he gets home, something else happens, and he has to leave again. So I just tried to imagine that's the type of family he was from. His father's a minister, his two brothers became ministers, and this is the child who didn't become a minister, who doesn't go to church. Sort of the rebel in the family, you know, and just took it from there, you know. And it was funny about Between Lovers was when I finished writing it, and I had submitted it to to the publisher. Right away, I got a phone call from the publisher. Eric, can we talk to you? I was like, oh shit. Okay, what? Okay, so yeah, we read the book. We just need to know, is this based on your life? I was like, I'm not chasing nobody around a lake to win a woman. Are you? I said, no, because it just feels so personal. I was like, well, good. Because that's the way I was trying to write it, that character, you know. It's like, I shift, like the reader sees the writer, I see the character. So when I'm writing him, I shift, he's more poetic. He was hard to write because of the way he thinks and speaks is different. But once I got it, it started to work. It worked for me. Bringing in Nicole, Ayana, go ahead.
We got another question. You can talk.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I heard I can write too. Miss Barbara in the house.
Where do the stories come from in a author's mind? I can't fathom. I mean, how do you imagine these things and create these characters and start writing about them?
Wow, again, sometimes it's just a seed, it's just an idea. I'm writing about an assassin. I have no idea who he is. A couple of things I did know. I had done Drive Me Crazy, Driver, his opening description. I'm 6'2", dark as an open road. He wasn't going to be Driver. Thieves Fridays, he wasn't going to be daunting. So I had to create another character. Then I started giving him this background and it just gradually comes together. It's never all there at the same time. Neil Simone Pleasure. I can write Gideon in erotic moment sex scenes with multiple women. No one will ever say anything. And then the challenge was, can I write a female character who's empowered, who does things that men do and doesn't care what you think about it. And you read her and identify with her and enjoy the story. Because usually that is the character that most people have a hard time with for whatever reason, you know. Just to see if I could pull it off, you know. And it worked out for me. It worked out for me, you know.
All right, next question.
Your audience today is composed primarily of women.
We kept the guys out.
Will you share your thoughts on why you think that is when you have such strong male characters in your book?
I don't know. I've never. A lot of the guys that I knew didn't go to book events because they see it as something that women go to. You know, that would be the thing. And it was so funny because I would get guys who would come to the events and buy the book, but they would say, "Yeah, sign this to Dorothy." The earlier books, Sister, Friends and Lovers, even though I read Connie Briscoe, Tina McGill Rahansa, B.D. Moore Campbell, Terry McMillan, on down the line, I didn't know that guys didn't necessarily read those types of novels, you know. And I love the stories, I love the characters. It wasn't until I started doing book signings that you see who shows up. And at the same time, women support the arts more than guys do. If it weren't for women.
For the women.
Oh yeah. I mean, across the board. I mean, museums, art. Women support the arts, and I'm thankful for it. You know, yeah.
Next question.
Hello.
Hey, Eric, how you doing?
How are you doing?
I loved Blackbirds.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
You had a lot of strong women running around in that
Thank
book.
you.
And I'm wondering, where does your insight come from? Because I noticed, you know, there's like in a lot of your books, a lot of the characters portray strong black women.
Yeah.
Where does that insight come from? Is it personal for you?
No, it's the way I see black women. I mean, honestly, I see.
You just see black women everywhere.
I see strong black women. Well, you know, black women are the backbone of the community. I mean, honest. I mean, every tragedy that's happened, anytime there's a black man down, who's the first person to show up to lead to put their well-being on the line to lead the protest? It's the sisters who are up front, you know. And brothers, we have to do the same thing for the women. You know, go ahead.
How old were you when you realized how powerful words are?
Probably 2. Some things my grandmama said still stick with me. Oh yeah.
He said 2. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Hello, could you just take us on just a slight journey of how you became a writer and what inspired you to become a writer?
Oh wow. Wow, slight a quick journey. Well, I've always felt kind of creative. When I was in high school, I used to do short stories for the school newspaper. Just little short things that were just stupid, silly, but funny. Like I took The Night Before Christmas, redid the poem, put it in the hood, had all of my friends' names in it. And I just remember the last line, it was something about reindeer barbecue.
Reindeer barbecue.
And when I started engineering, engineering it's a serious discipline. You know, I worked at this place, I worked aerospace, and I remember just sitting there just thinking like, man, where's all the fun stuff I used to do? That other side of my brain that I used to use is just totally gone away. And I had downtime at work, so I actually sat down and started to try to write short stories. First about myself, and it just kind of grew from there. That's the, I did stand up, I did acting, which I was using somebody else's words and ideas and thoughts. I wanted to tap into my own. And it just basically grew from there. I eventually took classes at Mount Sac Antonio College in Pomona, creative writing classes. And then I joined International Black Writers and Artists in LA. And through them, I got a scholarship, a partial scholarship, to take classes at UCLA. And it was so funny, the moment I stepped into the writing classes, it felt like I was at home. It was so, I didn't know the technical terms, but I understood everything that he was talking about, the teachers were talking about. And it was, I want to say that it was effortless, but it was a good effort. I would get an assignment like, right from the opposite gender's point of view. And up to that point, I had only been writing male stories. And I wrote Valerie's portion of Sister over a weekend. I had never written from a female point of view up to that point. I remember I wrote that first line down, Valerie knows Walter isn't impotent. It sticks with me, and I remember literally sitting, looking at it, okay, who is Valerie? Who is Walter? And how did she know? And I built a story off of that. Brought in Inda, brought in Chiquita, and probably over 3 or 4 months I had done that novel. And for me, it's hard to explain creativity.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard because it's something you do, it's organic, and you don't really think about it. We're all creative, we can be creative in different ways. But yeah, that's pretty much how it worked for me.
Great.
Just one.
Yeah.
And then,
They're gonna be mad at me if I can't get to them.
but between that and actually being published, probably 6-7 years went by. It wasn't overnight. I had at least 3 or 4 years of rejections. And through that, I stayed in writing classes, I kept rewriting, and each time I would you get some tip, you learn something that makes your story a little bit better. So I would take the same story that I wrote just out the box that got rejected, and then over 4 years, tweaking, I would turn in, people would, oh, this is wonderful. This is awesome. Yeah, it really was. But you've worked on it, but you can't tell the little bits and pieces that you've taken out that removed the parts that made it feel like an amateur wrote it. So yeah.
Okay, next question.
Hey there.
Hi.
I promise to be brief.
Okay. So I don't know who all reads or listens to the audio.
Dion Graham.
Yes. Did you personally pick him to play the role for Gideon and everything that he does? Because I'm gonna marry that man. If I find him,
I need to be recorded. No.
I'm just saying. If I find him, he's getting put in my trunk. And so if you pick him, I can take both of y'all in my trunk.
I'm taking the mic.
Security.
We go fast.
Oh, well, this is what's funny. This is what's funny. I communicate with Dion, right? And everything that people send me about loving the audio, I send to Dion. And I told Dion that you are Gideon. Because that's it. Okay, I got to tell you the short story real quick. I promise. It's going to be good. Okay. So I fell asleep one night. I left the TV. So I started having this dream about Gideon. Gideon's going around killing people, and I can hear him talking. I'd fallen asleep, left the TV on, and First 48 came on. And it was Dion's voice that got into my dream, and everything he narrated happened in my sleep. But it was Gideon. So yeah. So anyway, so I forwarded everything to Dion. It's just.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, may I sneak in 2 questions? Or I have 2 questions? One. Okay. I'll pick the best one. I feel like I Twitter stalked you, and I'm sorry for that.
No, that's fine. It's a Twitter stalking in school. I can block you.
You have so many characters. Do they hunt you? How do you keep them
straight? You know, it's funny. It's that I create them so more or less the characters remain clear to me. But when I go back to use them again, I have to read the source material again. I had to reread the entire Gideon series before I did this Gideon book to make sure everything lined up, stayed in. It's funny because when I worked on Blackbirds, I was 3/4 of the way done with the book before I realized I was spelling Erica's name wrong. So I had to go back and say, oh, snap, they would have called me out on that one. Is this a different Erica? You know, so yeah. So everything, I got Destiny's physical description was off. So I had to go back and match it up. So yeah, go ahead.
I'm like her, Twitter stalked me too, and thanks for communicating back though.
Oh, no problem.
One of the things I noticed about your writing from previous writings into the Gideon series is like it's 2 different writers. I remember reading Sleeping with Strangers for the first time.
Yeah.
It took me forever to get through the first chapter because it wasn't you that I was used to.
Oh, it wasn't the friends and lovers.
Right, it just wasn't the, so like what I guess I'm asking like the transition, did you think that I had to make it darker or anything like that when you transitioned to Gideon?
No, it was just, that was the character. I thought that, you know, when I thought of Gideon, it was just that opening with some guy yelling, what's your name? I don't have a name. You know, they're going through all of this, you know, and then the end of that chapter, it's just like, boom, the Bible on the floor, furnished by the Gideons, and he takes that name. That, you know, it's funny, that's a very dynamic opening, you know, for me. But I get it, people who come from Sister to that, it's 2 different things. It's 2 different characters, it's 2 different genres. So it's going to be written 2 different ways. I write Valerie the way Valerie is. I write Gideon the way Gideon is, you know. And for every character, you know. I was reading, I was looking over Drive Me Crazy. And I was like, damn, Driver cusses a lot. I had forgotten, but that was Driver, the guy who'd been on lockdown, who grew up in South Central, who had that hard whatever, you know. Used to go into the grocery store and steal chicken because, you know, mama sent him down, bring some food back, we ain't got no money, we gotta eat. You know what I mean? So, you know, just different characters. So, you know, I've written Dimitri and Tempted by Trouble, doesn't cuss at all. And he doesn't cuss, he don't call nobody out their name. That's the type of guy he is. So he's just total opposite of Driver. But it's funny, if I write a book where nobody cusses, nobody notices.
But they do notice the difference of the characters, right?
Yeah. Well,
you do a fantastic job of that.
When I sit down, each character, again, it's like being a character actor. And I'm taking on another role. So I have to find his language, her movements, his vocabulary, her vocabulary. Things that when this character says this, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. I did that in Milk in My Coffee. I have a section in the novel Milk in My Coffee where there's
what in your coffee?
No.
Milk in your coffee.
Milk in My Coffee.
Hey.
Where Jordan, Daryl, and Wanda are in the car together. And each one is talking, and you can tell who said what by their vocabulary. There's no he said, she said. It's just straight dialogue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to do this one favor for me. You got to stand up and do 1 minute of stand-up comedy.
I don't have any comedy. I don't have any comedy.
Come on, you gotta
nothing, man. I didn't come in like 10 years. Okay, Donald Trump. Thank you very much.
Thank you, that's all the name. Next show, 11 p.m. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take it. Let's give another round of applause. Stand up. You deserve to stand ovation.